Good morning. Today we are going to discuss some numericals regarding the valley curves and summit curves. Okay, so design of vertical gradient is already discussed, and we have covered about the valley curves and summit curves. Okay, some handouts for reading about valley curves and summit curves I'll be uploading in your Google Classroom. Okay, but now we are going to discuss about some numerical problems. Okay, so in the last class also I told that when we are doing numerical problems, just don't copy from what I am writing. Try to sit with a pen and paper and try to solve for yourself. Okay, until you solve for yourself, you will not be able to study the numerical examples, and this numerical example is very important. It's highly important. Okay, so we'll continue. This is the first question. A vertical summit curve is formed at the intersection of two gradients +3 and -5%. Okay, so the gradients are given. There are two gradients. One is +3, ascending gradient +3, and -5 means a descending gradient of -5. Design the length of summit curve to provide a stopping site distance for a design speed of 80 km/h. So what you have to design is, it should be obtaining a stopping site distance. If the design speed is 80 km/h, stopping site distance is not given. And also you are asked to find out you are also asked to find out the length of the summit curve. So what you have to do is you have to first find out the stopping site distance. From the value for stopping site distance, you have to find out the length of the summit curve. Okay. Other data you can assume suitably. So if the design speed is given in km/h, what is the expression for stopping site distance? We have already discussed this. Stopping site distance is equal to 0.278 Vt, where V is the design speed in km/h into T. What is the small t? Total reaction time of the driver. So in the question, if total reaction time is not given, we have solved similar questions. What you have to do, if the total reaction time is not given in such a problem, you have to assume the value for total reaction time, right? What should be the value assumed? The assumed value should be 2.5 seconds. So stopping site distance is equal to 0.278 into design speed into reaction time, that is 2.5 seconds, plus V square by 254 F, where V is the design speed and F is the coefficient of friction. So the coefficient of friction is also not given here. So you have to assume suitably the coefficient of friction, that is 0.35. So stopping site distance is equal to 0.278 into 80 into 2.5 plus 80 square divided by 254 into 0.35. That is the stopping site distance. 0.278 into 80 into 2.5 plus 80 square divided by 254 into 0.35. So you will get the value for stopping site distance as 128 meter. The total value for stopping site distance is obtained as 128 meter. Now, what will be the deviation angle? In order to find the deviation angle, you should have the value for the two gradients. Here, the two gradients are given in the question as ascending gradient of +3 and descending gradient of -5. So the deviation angle N will be obtained as 0.03, that is ascending gradient, minus descending gradient is the formula for deviation angle. For better reference, you have to refer this handout which I am providing through Google Classroom. Okay, there it is explained with diagram. So deviation angle N is equal to ascending gradient minus descending gradient, but here the descending gradient is a falling one, or here the second gradient is a descending one. So 0.03 plus 0.05 will give the deviation angle as 0.08. Now, the length of transition, what you have to do is, in order to find out the length of transition curve, there are two conditions. Either the length of transition curve is greater than the stopping site distance, there is one formula, and for the length of transition curve less than the stopping site distance, there is another formula. So in this question, you are assuming that length of transition curve L is greater than the stopping site distance. Okay. You can have assumptions. Either you can assume L is greater than SSD or you can assume L is less than SSD. What you have to do is, in general, assume either one of the condition. Assume the length of stopping site distance either greater than or less than or equal to SSD. If your assumption is L is greater than SSD, after getting the L value, compare it with SSD. If the value obtained is lesser, which is against our assumption, you have to rework. If the value obtained is greater, which is according to our assumption, you can continue with your design. This is the general procedure. Okay, you have to go for any one assumption because there are two formulae available for calculating the length of transition curve. One for the length greater than stopping site distance and another one for a length less than the stopping site distance. So without assuming anything, you won't be able to continue. Okay, so proceeding, you are assuming that length is greater than the stopping site distance. So the length of transition curve can be written as L is equal to NS square divided by 4.4. Length of transition curve L is equal to NS square by 4.4, where N means the deviation angle 0.08 into S is the stopping site distance 128 square divided by 4.4. That will give you the length of transition curve as 298 meter. So here you have obtained the length of summit curve as 298 meter. I'll explain this question once more. The question is, a vertical summit curve is formed at the intersection of two gradients +3 and -5. Two gradients are given. One is an ascending gradient of 3 and another one is a descending gradient of 5. Design the length of summit curve to provide a stopping site distance for a design speed of 80 km/h. Okay. You have to provide an SSD, then find out the length of summit curve. Design speed is given as 80 km/h. Assume other data. So the stopping site distance is given as 0.278 Vt plus V square by 254 F. So what you have to do is, there is ascending gradient on one side and descending gradient on another side. First of all, you have to find out the deflection angle and you also have to find out the stopping site distance. So assuming the total reaction time, this is the expression for stopping site distance, but total reaction time and friction is not given. So you have to assume suitable values for these two. Assuming total reaction time as 2.5 seconds and friction value as 0.35, you will obtain the stopping site distance as 0.278 into design speed in km/h is 80 into 2.5 plus 80 square divided by 254 into 0.35. This is the step. So you will get an answer of 128 meter as the stopping site distance. Now find out the deviation angle. Ascending gradient minus descending gradient. But here the descending gradient, but here the second gradient is a descending one. So ascending gradient 0.03 plus 0.05 will give 0.08 as the deviation angle. Now you have to make an assumption whether the length of transition curve is greater than or less than the stopping site distance. Here you are assuming that length of transition curve L is greater than the stopping site distance. So you have to use the formula L is equal to NS square divided by 4.4. So N 0.08 into 128 square divided by 4.4 will give 298 meter. So the length of summit curve is 298 meter. This is the first question. I hope it is clear. Watch the video multiple times and try to solve for your own. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the solution. Okay, fine. Second question. An ascending gradient of 1 in 100 meets a descending gradient of 1 in 120. So two gradients are given. First gradient is an ascending gradient and the second gradient is a descending gradient and they are meeting. A summit curve, same type of curve. In the last question also we solved for a summit curve. Here also the curve is given as summit curve. A summit curve is to be designed for a speed of 80 kilometer per hour. The design speed is given as 80 kilometer per hour, so as to have an overtaking side distance. Previous problem, the condition given was stopping side distance, but here it is for overtaking side distance. And in the previous problem, length of SSD was not given. Here the OSD is given. So an OSD of 470 meter is required. So you have to find out. Gradients are given. Ascending gradient of 1 in 100 and descending gradient of 1 in 120. So the deviation angle is given by 1 by 100 minus 1 by 120. That is the deviation angle. So that is 11 by 600. Now, the length of transition curve is greater than the overtaking side distance. So the length of transition curve L is equal to ns square divided by 9.6. So n is 11 by 600 into s square is 470 square divided by 9.6. 11 into 470 square divided by 600 into 9.6, that is 422 meter is the length of the summit curve. But here, in the question, you are provided with a value for overtaking side distance as 470 meter. And here the obtained value for length of transition curve is 422 meter. But you have obtained this 422 meter by making an assumption. यहाँ पे आपने एक assumptions बना दिया कि length of transition curve overtaking side distance से ज्यादा है, ठीक है? लेकिन क्या हुआ, overtaking side distance का value हमें दिया है 470 मीटर और length of transition curve का value हमें मिला है, calculate करके हमें मिला है 422 मीटर. तो ये 422 470 से ज्यादा नहीं है, 470 ज्यादा है, सही है ना? तो उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि हमारा असम्पशन गलत हो गया. हमारा असम्पशन जो लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व ओवरटेकिंग साइड डिस्टेंस से ज्यादा है, इस असम्पशन गलत हो गया. तो अब हम क्या करना है, अब हम दूसरे अस्यूम करना है, दोबारा अस्यूम करना है. सो दूसरा असम्पशन क्या होता है, लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व जो हम अस्यूम करते हैं, लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व एल, ये ओवरटेकिंग साइड डिस्टेंस से कम है. तो अगर L ओवरटेकिंग साइड डिस्टेंस से कम है, L का फॉर्मूला क्या है बताइए? L का फॉर्मूला मिलेगा लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व L इज इक्वल टू 2s माइनस 9.6 डिवाइडेड बाय n. सो 2 into s means overtaking side distance, that is 470 minus 9.6 divided by n. The angle of deviation क्या है? 11 by 600. तो इसमें हमें मिलते हैं लेंथ ऑफ कर्व इज इक्वल टू 417 मीटर. सो ये 417 मीटर लेंथ ऑफ कर्व जो मिला है वो क्या है? वो ओवरटेकिंग साइड डिस्टेंस से कम है. अंडरस्टैंडिंग? पहले क्वेश्चन में, पहले पार्ट में जब हमने लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व ओएसटी से ज्यादा एज्यूम किया, उसी टाइम पे हमें मिला लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व इक्वल टू 422 मीटर, लेकिन ओएसडी का वैल्यू हमें क्वेश्चन में प्रोवाइड किया है 470 मीटर. तो इसमें क्या हो गया, हमारा डिसीजन, हमारा असम्पशन गलत हो गया. अब हम क्या करना है, अब हम दोबारा एस्यूम करना है, और हमारा दोबारा असम्पशन क्या होता है? लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व ओवरटेकिंग साइड डिस्टेंस से कम वैल्यू है. तो फिर दोबारा कैलकुलेट भी करना है. तो दोबारा फॉर्मूले में अप्लाई करने टाइम आपको लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व मिलेगा 2s माइनस 9.6 डिवाइडेड बाई n. 2 into 470 minus 9.6 by 11 by 600. तो इसमें 417 मीटर मिला. सो अभी हमारा असम्पशन करेक्ट हो गया. लेंथ ऑफ ट्रांसिशन कर्व जो मिला है वो ओवरटेकिंग साइड डिस्टेंस से कम हो गया. तो डिजाइन में इतना लेंथ प्रोवाइड करना है. सो द लेंथ ऑफ सबमिट कर्व टू बी प्रोवाइडेड इज 417 मीटर. ओके, तो ये दोनों क्वेश्चन हमारा सबमिट कर्व का हो गया. अब एक क्वेश्चन वैली कर्व का भी करना है, ठीक है? ओके, सो अभी वी हैव डन 2 क्वेश्चंस फॉर सबमिट कर्व. अंडरस्टैंड दिस 2 क्वेश्चंस एंड as I said, do it for yourself. Now we will continue for one more question for valley curve. Okay, so we have seen 2 problems for design of summit curve. Okay, so there is one more type of vertical transition curve, summit curve and valley curve, right? So we have to solve for valley curve also. I will be giving a handout for reading. After reading that handout, you can, I think already we have discussed, but for your further reading, I'll be giving that handout. Then you have to watch this video and solve this problem. Okay. So here we'll be solving one problem for valley curve. Okay. Okay. So we have solved two problems for summit curve, and the third problem is for a valley curve. So write down the question. A valley curve is formed. A valley curve is formed. A valley curve is formed by descending gradient of 1 in 25. Descending gradient of 1 in 25 meeting an ascending gradient of 1 in 30. Descending gradient of 1 in 25 meeting an ascending gradient of 1 in 30. Design the length of valley curve. Design the length of valley curve to fulfill both. Design the length of valley curve to fulfill both comfort condition and headlight sight distance requirements. Design the length of valley curve to fulfill both comfort condition and headlight sight distance requirements for design speed of 80 km/h. Assume allowable rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. Assume allowable rate of change of centrifugal acceleration C is equal to 0.6. Assume allowable rate of change of centrifugal acceleration C is equal to 0.6 meter per second cube. What is given? The gradients are given. Ascending gradient, a valley curve is formed by a descending gradient of 1 in 25 and an ascending gradient of 1 in 30. Okay. So these are the two gradients, descending gradient 1 in 25 and an ascending gradient of 1 in 30. Now, what should be the length of valley curve? In order to fulfill both the criteria, one criteria is for comfort and other criteria is for headlight sight distance. And the design speed is given as 80 km/h. If the design speed is 80 km/h, for satisfying both comfort condition and headlight sight distance condition, what will be the length of valley curve? And also it is asked that allowable rate of change of centrifugal acceleration C is given as 0.6 meter per second cube. Okay, so the deflection angle N is equal to descending gradient minus 1 by 25 minus ascending gradient of 1 in 30. So you will totally obtain a value of minus 11 by 150. Now, the value of design speed is given. V is equal to 80 km/h. Converting it into meter per second. Divide the value given in km/h divided by 3.6. You will get the value in meter per second. So 80 km/h divided by 3.6 will give you 22.2 meter per second. That is the design speed. Now for comfort condition, we have to find the length of valley curve for both the condition, for comfort condition as well as headlight sight distance condition. So for comfort condition, the length of valley curve L is equal to 2 into NV cube by C whole raised to 1 by 2. Comfort condition, length of curve L is equal to 2 into NV cube by C whole raised to 1 by 2. So N is equal to 11 by 150 into V cube is equal to 22.2 whole cube divided by C is 0.6. A rate of change of centrifugal acceleration C is equal to 0.6 whole raised to 1 by 2. So the length of valley curve after solving, direct substitution, 2 into nv cube by c whole raised to 1 by 2 is the formula. Substituting for n 11 by 150, for v it is 22.2 and c is 0.6. Answer you will get it as 73.1 meter. Now the headlight side distance condition. We have a condition for headlight side distance also. So as per the headlight side distance condition, length of valley curve L is equal to ns square divided by 1.5 plus 0.035 s. L is equal to ns square divided by 1.5 plus 0.035 s. Substitute the value for s. 11 into, what is the value of s? Okay. So you obtain the value for length of transition curve from comfort condition like this. Now, according to the headlight sight distance condition, L is equal to ns square divided by 1.5 plus 0.035 s. Now, the question is how you will get the sight distance. To get the sight distance, we are given with the speed value. You have to find out Vt. If the speed is in meter per second, here you have already converted the speed to meter per second. So Vt, that is 22.2 into T. What is T? T is the reaction time of the driver. The value is not given, but you know that you can assume it suitably. So assuming that that step is not written here, that is why I'm telling. Here I have directly written the value for sight distance. Okay. But while solving this problem, you may be getting confused from where did I get this value. So that's why I'm explaining the steps. So for the sight distance S, Vt plus V square by 2gf. If velocity is given in kilometer per hour, then the speed will become Vt plus V square by 254f. We have done it in a problem before, I think. Yes. Here you can see that here for stopping side distance, we have used, we were directly substituting it in kilometer per hour. So 0.278 Vt plus V square by 254f. You can either use this formula or you can directly use in meter per second. That is Vt plus V square by 2gf. So while substituting, what is the value of V in meter per second? 22.2 into 2.5. Assuming the reaction time as 2.5 seconds. 22.2 into 2.5 Vt plus V square by 2gf is 22.2 whole square divided by 2 into 9.81 into f. Here you are assuming the value of f as 0.35 as in the previous case. So you will obtain the value of sight distance as s is equal to 127.3 meter. So headlight sight distance L is equal to ns square. N is 11 by 150 into s square is 127.3 square divided by 1.5 plus 0.035 into 127.3, that is 200 meter. So the headlight sight distance you will obtain as 200 meter. Okay, so we have solved 3 problems. 2 problems was for the design of summit curves and 1 problem is for the design of valley curve. In the case of design of valley curve, you should be solving it for both the criteria. Both the criteria means for comfort criteria as well as for sight distance criteria, you have to solve the problem. Okay, so I think it is clear.